they are naive. They do so because no one ever taught them how not to. And that's what I'm going to teach you now. Because one of the biggest problems in dating is not just wrong choice, it is also wrong pacing. Why? If a relationship keeps moving forward emotionally while remaining unclear relationally, your heart can get involved long before your head has enough time to figure this person out. And what's the result? A heartbreak cycle. That means you keep going from one heartbreak to another heartbreak to another heartbreak. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. And it's important because every heartbreak you go through changes you. Every heartbreak you go through changes a little bit about who you are, and that makes it harder for you to bond with the right one, all because you got attached to the wrong ones too quickly. So this topic is very important. Watch this video to the end because it will not only clear everything up for you, it will give you practical steps to protect your heart from getting too attached too quickly so you can discern well. And I know that's why you are here today, so sit tight. I've got great things for you. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean to get attached too quickly? What does it really mean? It is not liking someone fast. It's not just liking someone fast. It is giving emotional access to someone before there is enough clarity or enough tested character to support it. It is when your heart starts living in a future that the relationship has not yet earned. Your heart is already there. You're already Daydreamers International. Let me just give me a wave, right? Your heart is already there. You're already living a future that the person has not even invited you into. And it is when the bond is deepening faster than the relationship is being defined. That means you are getting attached too quickly. I don't know if this is something you've experienced. Let me know in the comment section. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, drop the fire emoji, drop a heart emoji. Let me know that you are with me on this. So why do women get attached too quickly? This is going to be quick, so you might need to watch this over and over again to get the point, right? Why do women get attached too quickly? Because attention feels like safety and belonging. And that safety and belonging is the core need of your heart. You want to feel like you belong with someone, right? You want to feel safe with someone. And when someone starts giving you that attention, you automatically equate it to say, this is what my heart has been longing for. The second reason why women get attached too quickly is because repeated contact creates familiarity. And familiarity can feel like depth, even when it isn't. Familiarity does not make you family. And it doesn't mean you should become family, right? So another reason why you get attached is because repeated contact over and over again, it creates familiarity, and that familiarity feels like depth, even when there is no depth to this relationship, really. The third reason is once there is chemistry, conversation, emotional comfort, it's easy for you to assume this relationship is progressing in the direction of your feelings. Like women, we assume a lot. Once we begin to feel something, we just subconsciously, it happens subconsciously, we just assume that the relationship is progressing in that direction because if I feel it, then it has to be real, right? And the fourth reason is because many women were not taught to pace intimacy. We're only told to guard our heart. And nobody really even broke down what guard your heart means. It's just this vague advice that everybody gives, like guard your heart, right? But nobody really taught you this is how to pace intimacy. This is how to guard your heart. And that's what I'll be showing you today. Practical ways to pace the intimacy so you can only get attached to someone who deserves you. Why? Because premature intimacy is dangerous. Remember the heartbreak cycle. I know many of you have been through this heartbreak cycle where you thought something will materialize, nothing materialized, you were disappointed. And that changed you because now, in some way, when you meet somebody new, you have that fear, you have that, trepidation, like, is this going to turn out to be what I want? And that fear manifests in your conversation, in the way you even, in quotes, attack the person, so to say, right? So all those heartbreaks and disappointment, they change you, and you need to learn to put a stop to them so that you can be emotionally available to somebody who genuinely deserves you. Hi David, I'm so glad to have you here. So what is premature intimacy? Is dangerous. Why? When closeness arrives before commitment, you feel emotionally bonded before there is clear direction, right? You start sharing deeply, leaning heavily on this person, and hoping seriously, even before the relationship has earned that level of access. And you can end up deeply hurt by someone who never actually made a promise to you. So in this case, You're sort of the one breaking your own heart, really, not the person, because the person never promised you anything, but you've made promises to yourself just based on your interaction with that person, right? That's why healthy relationships, they need pace, not just passion. Healthy relationships need pace. A slower pace helps the truth to rise to the surface. Therefore, one of the wisest things you can learn as a woman is this: just because something feels natural does not mean it should be pursued right now or pursued at all. Just because something is feeling natural to you, is flowing so effortlessly, does not mean it should be pursued right now or that it should be pursued at all. You must learn delayed emotional gratification. Like, that's one thing, if I'm male or female, that's one thing we must learn. We must learn what delayed emotional gratification. That means you feel the feeling, then you tell yourself, no, not yet, right? Once you master this control, you will be able to choose well. You would have the clarity to choose well. You have the clarity to choose outside of your feelings without mastering that emotional control. Thank you for that thumbs up. Without mastering that emotional control, you will never be sure whether you are being led by facts or you are being led by your feelings, right? Now, signs that your heart is moving faster than wisdom. I want you to watch out for these signs. Number one, you already feel emotionally loyal to him, even though nothing has been clearly defined. So watch out for signs of, premature emotional loyalty. You won't really open up to opportunities to get to know other people because your heart is already attached. And you know the way the heart is, once it attaches to one person, like, you don't want to really mingle with other people because you think this one person is it, right? And the person has not made a commitment to you. So watch out for that premature emotional loyalty. Or maybe the person is consuming so much of your time. We call it shadowing, right? The person is consuming so much of your time that you don't have time to get to know other people. The second sign is that you feel strong disappointment over things that he never actually promised, right? So he didn't check on you and now you are hot. Like, you are really hot. He's really hurting you. But you forget that he's not obligated to check on you daily when he has made no verbal commitment to you. There's no obligation to check on you when there's no commitment, no verbal commitment has been made. So when you begin to notice that, oh, you are feeling strongly disappointed because somebody didn't do something that they didn't say they would do, right? That means that you're already too emotionally attached, right? Without clarity. Number three, you are afraid to ask clarifying questions because you don't want to lose the closeness. And this is common. You know you are getting attacked, but you are afraid to seek clarity because you don't want to lose the pseudo relationship that exists. The best thing you can do is get clarity, and get it early. The minute you begin to feel that way, get clarity early, right? Number four, you keep feeding the bond with more calls, more private conversation, more vulnerability, more fantasy. You can't even wait for him to initiate anymore because it's too hard to wait. And all these things I'm saying, I've been there, so I know how it feels. It's too hard to wait. So now you find yourself initiating, you find yourself calling, you find yourself texting, you find yourself doing everything because you can't just wait for him to, initiate anymore. All these are signs that you are treating the connection like a relationship before it has even become one. So nothing wrong in getting emotionally attached to someone, but you should only get emotionally attached after there has been clarity. After there has been clarity, that's the safest place for you to be, right? Now, what is speeding up this attachment? What is making this happen to you? So to say, constant texting from morning till night. And now it's so easy, right? It's just so easy to communicate. So constant texting from morning till night, long emotional phone calls too early, right? Private vulnerability before trust is established. I told you I would share with you the things that I learned from Too Close to Soon. And one thing I learned from that book that I will never forget is this: it is what you share that bonds you, not necessarily what the other person shares. It is what you share that bonds you. So if you want to manage the intimacy, watch what you share. Once you watch what you share, you will be able to better guard your heart, right? So don't forget, it is what you share that bonds you, not necessarily what the other person shares, right? So another thing is spending too much isolated time together too early. This one has been the personal bane of my past life, right? Spending too much isolated time together too early. The minute you begin to do this, it's only a matter of time. Like, I remember when I watched Prison Break, I used to tell people this funny quote that I got from Prison Break, and it's that men and women can't be friends. Men and women can't be friends. Like it sounds, somehow like, what do you mean? Men and women can't be friends. And I genuinely believe it. You can be friends in some sense. I define it by, okay, keep up friends and catch up friends. Men and women can be catch up friends. So like every once in a while you catch up on each other's life and what's going on, and I wish you well, that type of vibe. But keep up friends, which means you're keeping in step day in, day out. Men and women can be friends like that. There will be feelings involved, right? On one side or on both sides, right? If it's both sides, it's good. Now, this is how all these reasons I told you, constant texting, long emotional phone calls, private vulnerability, that's how you get attached too quickly. It's the constant communication and the vulnerability in those conversations. That's what makes you get attached too quickly. So, how do you slow it down? Really, how do you slow it down to match the commitment? How do you slow it down to match the clarity? Because somebody might not approach you and just give you clarity the first day he meets you that, oh, I want to marry you. He may not do that, right? So how do you slow down your own feelings? The minute you begin to see things that you like, how do you slow it down so that you can know whether this person really wants to pursue you or not? Or even you, whether you want to be with this person. Number one, slow down the frequency if clarity is missing, right? Slow down the frequency. So if you've been talking every day, reduce it to talking every other day. Easy peasy, right? So you talk to him today, tomorrow, just like, tomorrow I'm not going to pick his call. I'm just going to, maybe send a text and say, can we talk tomorrow? I'm sort of busy today. You slow down the frequency if there is no clarity. Number two, slow down emotional disclosure. Always ask yourself, does he need to know this? You need a huge dose of emotional control to be able to get around dating into this world. Is it not true? So the earlier you accept that reality and begin to practice it, you need a huge dose of emotional control if you don't want to be heartbroken over and over again, right? So slow down emotional disclosure. Does he need to know this? If he doesn't need to know it, then you don't need to share it. If you're just bored, you need someone to talk to, you need someone to share those, very deep things in your heart, find same-sex friend to share it with. Number three, slow down access to your loneliness, pain, deep desires, and private struggles. Ask yourself this question: has he earned the right to this information? Or how has he earned the right to this information? How has he shown himself to be consistent? How has he given me clarity to tell me that he has earned the right to this information? Number four, very important, slow down future talk in your own mind. Slow down future talk in your own mind. Control your thoughts. Even Philippians 4:8 says that whatever things are true. If you just use that first line alone, it will get rid of a lot of your imaginations, because many of them are not even based on facts, not to talk of being true, right? So follow Philippians 4:8 doggedly. Ask yourself, when you find yourself question, don't you guys question yourself? Like I question myself a lot. When you find thoughts coming to your mind, ask yourself, is this even true? Is this true? This person has not even promised me any of this. Why am I daydreaming? Why am I trying to fit his last name with my first name? Did he tell me he's giving me his last name? So that's not even true. Right? So slow down future talk in your own mind. Number five, slow down situations that create artificial closeness before there is actual commitment. Slow down any situation that creates artificial closeness before there is actual commitment. So, opt for anger with friends and minimize alone time together, because somebody who you're getting emotionally attached to, I'm assuming, like you already spend a lot of time with them. So opt for hangout with friends instead of, alone time, because now you want to withdraw, you want to slow things down. And this should be a wake up call to him as well, that if he wants continued exclusivity to you, it requires clarity and commitment. Those are the subtle ways you signal to a sensible man that you're not available for just, friendship. You want more. And if he wants more, he has to, give clarity and commit, right? So the boundaries that protect your heart are emotional boundaries, which is your thoughts and imaginations, because that's where the issue really stems from. Your thoughts and imagine. Once you are able to control your thoughts, once you are able to control your imaginations, you will be in control of your emotions, right? So emotional boundaries. Two, time boundaries. How long do you spend with him daily, right? Communication boundaries. What are you telling him? Because like I said, it is what you share that bonds you, not necessarily what the other person shares, right? Access boundaries. Time of day. When do you talk? You definitely need a curfew. if you want to minimize intimacy, right? If you want to let things go at a gradual pace, because there's just something about talking at night. There's just something about nighttime conversations. I know, because I talk to my husband a lot at night when we're nighttime conversations. You're just vulnerable. Even things that you normally won't say during the day, maybe when you're in traffic or trying to get from one meeting to another. At night, when you are relaxed on your bed alone, you just find yourself saying those things, and these things will bond you when the person hasn't even earned the right to know them, when the person hasn't even proven himself to deserve that information, right? So definitely have a curfew at the beginning of every, you know, association that you are having with someone, because I don't even want to call it relationship. Have a coffee. Know that after 8 p.m. or after 9 p.m., I'm not going to be available for calls or for chats, right? So that the friendship can go at a normal pace, right? At the pace of clarity. So, physical boundaries, keep your back off the ground, for want of a better way to say it. Like, even if you're not really having intercourse, all those little things, all those kissing, all those touching, all those making out, they are clouding your judgment, and they are making you attach prematurely. Like, there is nothing that makes it harder for you to walk away than not having physical boundaries, than intercourse or related activities, right? So keep your back off the ground, keep your clothes on, keep your legs closed, keep your bra on, everything locked tight and zipped, right? So now, what do you do if you're already attached to someone? What do you do? First of all, tell yourself the truth about where things really are. Like, call your name and spell it out to yourself. Like, there is no relationship here. This person hasn't promised you anything. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the hard truth, because it is that hard truth that will protect your heart. So tell yourself the hard truth that once you find yourself going now, say, come back home. This person hasn't promised you anything. This person hasn't asked you for anything. So, don't merge your last name with don't merge his last name with your name. There's no promise here, right? So tell yourself the truth about where things really are. Two, pull back your expectations to the level of fact. So be unbothered. Learn to be unbothered when the person didn't show up or the person didn't call, because the person hasn't made a commitment to do that, right? So pull your expectations. I'm not expecting daily calls because this person hasn't said he's interested in me. I'm not expecting daily check-calls because he hasn't made a commitment to me, right? So pull your expectation back to the level of fact. If you are picking up your phone over and over again, go and put that phone somewhere where you won't sit and just think about your life. That's one thing I found is a good solution to distraction. Think about your life. Where do I want to go next? What do I want to do next? What is holding me back? Once you switch to that, it helps you. Number three, reduce whatever is feeding the attachment if clarity is still absent. So look at it critically. What's feeding this attachment? Is it what I'm sharing? If it's what you're sharing, then reduce it. What's feeding this attachment? Is it the time we spend together? Then reduce the time. Like, you are the one to guard your own heart. Nobody else will do it for you. He definitely won't do it for you, especially if he's preying on your availability, right? So you are the one to guard your own heart. You are the one to ask yourself the hard questions that will keep your heart in check. So sit up, take up that responsibility and do it, right? So reduce whatever is feeding the attachment if clarity is absent. Ask the questions you've been avoiding. If there are some questions that you ask yourself that will just give you clarity, there are some questions you ask the person, and I'll give you examples as we go on. So watch to the end. Ask the questions you have been avoiding. And the last one, acceptance. This one, like, is the most important. Accept his pattern, not just his sweet moment. Accept what is, not what you hope would be. Please, if you forget anything, if you get that, write it in the comment section for me, please. Accept what is, not what you hope would be. Because a lot of these premature emotional attachments, they are hanging on hope. That hope that something will come out of it, that's what your whole thing is hanging on. So accept what is in front of you right now. What is this person showing you? This person not saying anything, that's information. Accept what is, not what you hope would be. Some questions to ask yourself before you get more involved. The minute you begin to notice those signs I told you earlier, again, you might need to watch this over again. Ask yourself this question: has this person brought clarity, or am I filling in the blanks with hope? because that's what we women do. We are always filling in the blanks with hope. So, has this person actually brought clarity to this association, or am I the one just hoping that clarity will come? That question will give you your answer. Two, and these are questions that are in this checklist that I made for you. Signs of a love worth marrying. Is this connection growing in definition or just in intensity, right? Is it growing in definition? Are we getting closer to knowing who we are, what we are? Like, are we gradually defining what is happening here, or we are just getting more and more and more and more intense? Ask yourself the hard questions. You are the one to guard your heart. Three, if I remove chemistry and all the feelings, would his behavior still look serious? Because some of you need to ask yourself, like, if I just remove my feelings from this equation, if I just remove the strong attraction, would this person's behavior actually look serious? Number four, has this relationship earned deeper access yet? These are thought-provoking questions that when you ask them from yourself, you just, sometimes you don't even need to go to guy for clarity. You get clarity just by yourself on your own from asking yourself the hard but very necessary questions. Has this relationship earned deeper access yet? If the answers to these questions are no, then automatically you know you need to pull back, right? So I made a guide for you, filled with questions you need to ask to get clarity about this person. His love for you, his intentions towards you. If you're wondering, is this person serious? Is he going to stay? Is he going to blah blah blah? All those wonderings and imaginations of your heart. This guide will answer that question for you. These questions, they help you put your feelings aside and see the truth of the matter. So you won't need to be going to someone to, this is what happened. And, we do that a lot, right? I know we will. We go to someone to say, this is what's happening. So what do you think? What should I say? What should I do? Because you are largely unsure. That's what it is. You are largely unsure. And that's why I made this guide, so that you stop asking me lots of questions. Okay, I'm kidding. But when you ask yourself these questions, right? You will instantly know, this is where I stand with this person. This is how serious. You'll be able to rate how serious this person is to you. You'll be able to tell yourself, okay, this is somebody worth marrying. This is somebody worth, like, these questions will give you clarity. Because when you don't confront yourself with questions like this, you spend months emotionally attached to somebody who has no future plans for you. And that's not just heartbreak, oh, that's wasted years. And that's the honest truth. It's wasted years. You spend months getting emotionally attached to somebody who has no plans. And then you find out after 9 months that, we're just friends, or, we're just hanging out, like, we're just cool, or what's up? You see his invitation, he's getting married to somebody else. I know, like, that's diabolical, but it happens. So to protect yourself from those diabolical people and their diabolical measures, these are the hard questions to ask yourself to get clarity instantly. Somebody has been around you for a month, somebody has been around you for 2 months, somebody has been around you for 4 to 6 months. Ask yourself these very necessary and hard questions, so you know where you are going, right? Because the wasted years, that's time you could have spent being emotionally available to someone who would genuinely love you, right? So it's a must have for you. It's a useful one until you find and choose the right one. You need to have this, right? Now, getting attached too quickly, in closing, it's not just a pacing problem, or it's first a pacing problem before it becomes an heartbreak problem. When you get attached too quickly, it's because you didn't know how to pace the association. And sometimes the person might even be good for you, but because you rush too much, rush into intimacy, rush into physical intimacy, rush into everything, you just muddy the waters. And what could have ended up being good? That's why you say, oh, we're two good people. Why didn't we end up? Because you didn't pace it well, right? So it becomes an heartbreak problem, right? So if intimacy is growing faster than clarity, slow down. If access is growing faster than commitment, slow it down. If your heart is running ahead of the facts, slow it down. Do not commit your heart where there is no clarity. Remember, it is your duty to guard your heart. He won't do it for you. God won't do it for you. Nobody else will do it for you. It is your sole duty to guard your heart. And I'm giving you all the practical ways by which you will guard your heart in this live session. You can watch it over and over again, and definitely, share it to friends, share it to your single friends, because many single women definitely need this information to guard their hearts and prevent the cycle of heartbreaks. So I hope you've learned a thing or two. Subscribe, because next week I'm back with another live session that will be so helpful and rich for you, for your relationship, because this year you are getting it right. You are definitely getting it right in love. So stay close, subscribe, share this video to your friends, and let's have more fun learning relationship together. God bless you.